Welcome back to Amiibo Doctor. This is the video where Doc had too much homework, so instead we're going to review the Amiibo tier list. This is the community Amiibo tier list, voted on by USAC, the Center of Amiibo Training on the Internet. Obviously my content is the center, but that's the central Discord server. All that's on the website, amiibodoctor.com/tier list, link in the description below so you can go see the full thing for yourself instead of watching this hefty son of a gun. Let's begin. So, just FYI, haven't been keeping up with recent developments in the Amiibo meta by probably 6 months, 8 months, 9, I don't know, it's been almost a year, maybe, I don't know. I've had a lot to do. However, the way that I view Amiibo tier lists is different than the way that most people view Amiibo tier lists. Most people view Amiibo tier lists based on the meta, right? They base it on just who's good right now, who's got good Amiibo right now. Oh my, so-and-so just trained, I don't know, a Zelda that kicked ass in a tournament, so we should bump Zelda back up to A or A plus or B plus, wherever the hell, right? I don't do that. That's a stupid way to make a tier list. That is like the worst possible way to make a tier list, okay? With Amiibo, the AI, especially now that we're not getting game update patches, except for the inevitable Sora Amiibo patch, the Amiibo is set in stone, okay? So there is, hypothetically, with all Amiibo trained and everything, a best way to train that Amiibo, in theory, okay? When Amiibo go up on the tier list, it should be, not that they placed better in tournaments, but that they did better, their potential, their maximum potential is higher, right? So really, the Amiibo tier list shouldn't be an approximation of who's trained what that's really good or who's submitting more. It should be an approximation of what is the theoretical maximum potential of this Amiibo, okay? For that reason, my tier list, the one that I have in my head that I really need to actually put down on paper, hasn't changed much over the last 3 years. So, you know, if I sound like I'm out of touch or a cranky old man, maybe, entirely possible, or you might be wrong, relatively speaking, because this is Amiibo, and it's partially subjective, and it's just kind of silly to, you know, be like that anyway. So, okay, so I will say, the part of Amiibo that I pay the most attention to, at least as far as tier lists are concerned, is the top, all right? A little bit of Amiibo history. We're going to talk about Byleth here in a sec, by the way. A little bit of Amiibo history for you. Bowser was the first banned Amiibo. I really should do one of those videos. You know those ones that False Swipe Gaming does? Where it's like, how good was such and such Pokemon? Actually, right? And it goes through like all the generations. I should do that for Bowser, because he was like really good in both. Bowser was the first banned Amiibo, right? And we all kind of knew pretty much immediately that Bowser was like stupid busted. Okay, this was before Incineroar, all right? Because remember, Incineroar the Amiibo only came out November 2019, so we had almost a year before him. But Bowser was the best, okay? And we had King K. Rool and Bowser like together in the meta for about 6 months, maybe? What was it, like February that K. Rool came out, like November that Bowser got banned? So we had K. Rool and Bowser going at it for a long time, right? Eventually, Bowser got unbanned. Okay, some people said he's not S tier anymore. Obviously, those people are wrong. And then they said Bowser should just not be banned because King K. Rool is better than Bowser. Now, this S tier right here, okay, so U tier is banned, right? You're never going to get better than Incineroar. S tier, hypothetically speaking, okay, is what should also be banned. All right, if you're not gonna ban S tiers, then expect to get beat by an S tier. All right, they're just going to win, okay? Bowser is definitely not better than Terry. It's just not. I would say Terry is best legal in the game because he's really good against heavyweights and he's pretty good against lighter ones, okay? My opinion, he might have a hard time against swordies, but I don't think he's gone up against enough swordies to really tell. You know, sword fighters really only have range on Terry where he has KO power and he's a bit faster. So, Bowser, not better than Terry. Bowser, probably also not better than Byleth. Definitely better than King K. Rool. God, I can't believe I'm still... What's it been, like a year and a half now that I've been having this argument into my camera? No, Bowser's better... Look, this is the sort of thing where you either see it or you don't, okay? I get it. The way that King K. Rool is trained, yeah, his belly armor is really bulky. But Bowser kills better. He does, he kills better, right? When Bowser's parry and King K. Rool's parry... When we're talking like 20xx optimal, Bowser wins. All right? You can say, Doc. We're talking about the human limits of Amiibo, right? It's like, no, it's actually not that hard to teach him to parry. Like, it's just, you guys aren't doing it. You know what I'm saying? You know, you pick it up and put him down. It is also easier to train a Killer Bowser than a K-Rool. It's kind of embarrassing. I will never claim to be the best Amiibo trainer in the world, because that would just be a flat lie. I don't think I've ever trained a King K. Rool that I'm really that proud of, at least. To be fair, I guess all it takes is dash attack, and then, a couple other things, but anyway. So, no, this S tier is mostly correct. Oh, I was going to talk about Byleth. This S tier is mostly correct. Put Bowser over K. Rool, and then it's good. So, Byleth. Okay, Byleth. By the way, this is the February, if you can't tell. This is the February 2022 Amiibo tier list. The recent bin file leaks, like Min, Steve, Kazuya, that sort of thing, they're not on there yet. We're almost definitely going to see Kazuya in S tier coming soon. I don't know about the rest of them. That's Kazuya's really the only one I'm comfortable saying that. But Byleth, when Byleth first came out, okay, I did a podcast. I don't think he's still in the scene. I don't know. I don't give a shit. However, I did a podcast with other Amiibo trainer, and we were both like, yeah, Byleth's side B is going to be, like, really broken, I might link to that, actually, in the, if I can find the video. I went through and deleted all my videos with less than 500 views a couple weeks ago, so it might not be up, I don't know. But if I can find it, I'll stick it in the description. But no, like, pretty much immediately, as soon as seeing Byleth's moveset, I had two moves that I thought were, like, going to be totally broken. And that's Side B, which has some sort of Fire Emblem-y name that I do not want to learn how to pronounce. And then his neutral B, the Bow, which is like, just that frame one across the whole stage thing, right? At the time, Mii Gunner was really crushing everything, okay? Mii Gunner's missile spam was, like, super dominant, which, by the way, I think optimal Mii Gunner should be S tier. We'll get to that in a second. Well, no, I'm sorry, I take it. I'm still thinking pre 8.0. Mii Gunner's AI has been nerfed. It's hard to get him to do that. Never mind. A+ is fine. This is really an Amiibo Doctor podcast, actually. But no, as far as Byleth goes, no, dude, that side B finally getting, correctly put to its full potential, dude, 100% Byleth S tier, not even a question about it. I'm actually surprised that it took this long for everyone else to come to the same conclusion that I immediately came to before even trying the character, honestly. But that's okay. You guys catch up to me. I hate to keep saying Doc is always right, Doc, because that's just silly. But as the years have gone by, the Amiibo tier lists are looking closer and closer to what my tier list internally is. So I really am regretting, I think I did make one, but I never posted it on the website. I really am regretting not taking the time at some point to, like, have the arguments with myself 84 times over and then be like, no, this Amiibo goes there. Because I, honestly, on a lot of Amiibo, I don't have, like, a specific tier list placing. I'm just like, okay, this is mid-tier, probably between these and these tiers, right? You can't have an opinion on everything. That's stupid. Okay. So that's S tier. All right. Mii Gunner A+, fair enough. Ridley an A+, yeah, fair enough. I think that's about where optimal Ridley would go. Ridley, unfortunately, is kind of... He's got some stupidity about him. But the fact that he counters Ness is awesome. So for those of you who don't know, Ness Amiibo. So the way Amiibo recover, they have a recovery routine, or sometimes several recovery routines for different situations. Kind of depends on the character. For Ness, like, double jump hovers to a specific coordinate relative to the ledge. Then he PK thunders. It's just like exactly the same way every single time, and goes straight for the ledge. All right. Although I feel like I've seen him go over the ledge, but that could just be me misremembering things because it's 9:39 at night and I've had a 14-hour workday. So, I don't know. Not the point. Ridley's fireball, when used at the ledge, just so happens to always hit Ness when he's recovering. So by pure coincidence, Ness cannot recover with PK Thunder when it's a fireball Ridley, when he's trying to use fireball at the ledge, right? Ness... not S tier, but Ness is really good. It's really good. I think I covered this actually in the... Well, I wrote it down in the Amiibo Meta Short. I don't think I mentioned it. But Ness's PK Fire, PK Thunder is, like, legitimately frustrating to watch. Okay? Like, it's just pisses me off. So the fact that Ridley can beat Ness when most things can't, big deal. Okay? I think that fact alone, plus his heaviness, his girth, his recovery ability, A+, perfectly fine. That's all good. All good. I am a little surprised to see King DDD in A+. He's certainly got the character for it, and he's got the type for it, and he's got the disjointed hitbox for it, right? I'm just surprised that you guys came to that conclusion. Because, like, I had always put DDD around bottom of A+ internally, with the only exception. The only good argument I ever saw for putting him higher was Mr. Mallet, which is Dreamy J's King DDD. But hey, top of April, hey, that's fine. By the way, I should mention, this Amiibo tier list is not one individual's opinion. This is an amalgamation of votes, okay? So you can have a result that, like, everyone disagrees with, because that's just how the math worked out, all right? What I'm more interested in is who's not in A+. Hero, that's kind of... Link not being an A+, okay, fair enough. Link is one of the few Amiibo over the course of the last couple of years that I've kind of, like, moved down in my internal tier list. Not because Link has gotten worse, because once they made him use Bomb, he was pretty much just set in stone for a while. But only because he got better opponents, basically. Hero has never had that. In fact, Hero is the better opponent, you know? I don't know. I don't buy Hero in A. You know? I think Hero in A+. Bottom of A+, sure, that's fine. I don't usually look at tier lists as ordered, just like top, middle, or bottom, if that. You know, it kind of fluctuates. But Hero bottom of A+ makes a lot more sense to me. Hero also, he's heavy. Okay. Great recovery. Okay. Ridiculous kill power, and he's very flexible. He's very flexible. I think what this is probably that not enough people have submitted good heroes, so this hasn't influenced enough people's opinion to be like, oh, Hero is A+. But Hero is A+. Piranha Plant. No, that's about right. A is actually good for Piranha Plant. Piranha Plant is one of those weird Amiibo. I always fucking hate Piranha Plant, but I love him. He's one of those weird Amiibo that, like, just looking at the character, because you can usually tell kind of by the archetype of the character, like, where they're going to place on the tier list. You wouldn't put Piranha Plant as super high on the tier list. It's like, okay, he's heavy, he's got pretty good recovery, but not really that much KO power. But then it's like, oh, wait a sec. He handles it really well. And he actually does kill pretty well, which is interesting, especially with up smash, you know, so fair enough. I would say me Brawler and me Sword in A a little bit much. A little bit much. This happens periodically where somebody will take an Amiibo that's probably B or B+ tier. They'll win. Not even win. They'll just place like top 8 in 1 or 2 large tournaments. And then everyone's like, oh my, this is like a new amazing peak for the meta. It's like, no. You would expect that periodically you would have higher than typical placements, right? Average doesn't mean every single time. It means the middle, roughly speaking, you know. So if it's in the middle, then you're going to get some worse placements, you're going to get some better placements. But on average, me Brawler, me Sword, probably not A. It does bring my heart warmth, though, to see me Sword in A, because I always wanted him to be A tier. I'm sorry, I always wanted him to be S tier, actually. I thought, I remember back in the early part of the meta, I thought he was going to be S tier for like 3 weeks. And I wrote a post about it, something about like Gale Tornado into up air, which was a really great kill move, by the way, at the time. Nobody ever gave me Sword Fighter love. Like, I was the only one, and my me Sword Fighter is legitimately the worst me Sword Fighter you've ever seen. I trained him twice. They're both the worst me Sword Fighter. They're tied for horribleness, you know? So, unfortunately, I just did not do him justice. Banjo in B+ really surprises me. I know, top of B+, like, okay, fair enough, but come on, Wonder Wing? He's got Wonder Wing. That leaves me Wonder Ring. Why Wonder Wing? Whatever. Probably someone's mathematical average. This one bugs the shit out of me, though. Can you guess which one it is? Can you guess which one it is? Pokemon Trainer in B+. Okay? Here's the thing. So, sometimes in Amiibo... I don't have any water with me, do I? Sometimes in Amiibo, you get these things called popularity contests, which is when somebody will incessantly repeat that such and such character is such and such tier, and then they'll put out like 1 or 2 reasons why, and then everyone will be like, oh my, that's totally correct, and I accept that unquestioningly. And then that's just the norm, right? Pokemon Trainer is a good example of that. He is. You might think, Doc, you're full of shit. He plays really well in this, he plays really well in that. Yeah. Gonna have some good placements here and there. But you're gonna have a lot of bad ones too. The reason Pokemon Trainer is not B+ tier is because while Charizard has the weight and the KO power, and Squirtle actually has some weight and KO power, like he's a very smart version of Sheik, right? Ivysaur, not so much. And look, if it was earlier in the day, I would be able to phrase this better, okay? I just don't see it, man. I just don't see it. All right, you're gonna have to like really prove that point to me. Like, really fucking hard. That he deserves B+ tier. B tier? Fair enough, man. An effective Charizard is going to carry the team, okay? And Squirtle can hold his own. Really, Ivysaur is the only one that sucks. Which is kind of funny, because Squirtle's actually the lightest, so you would think... Anyway. But B+? No. Get this shit out of here. Oh, but this is the vanilla list, right? Okay, yeah. There's a Spirits tier list down here as well, if you wanted to see that one. What else? What else was I looking at? Once I get down below like B+, I usually don't have very strong opinions on characters because it just fluctuates, you know? It's easy after a character wins a tournament to say, oh my, well, they should go up a full tier because it's much less common, but it doesn't not happen, you know what I'm saying? So, but by the way, when I say win, I just mean place well, because tournaments vary of all shapes and sizes. You could have a 16-man double elimination, in which winning doesn't really mean that much, or you could have a 512-man, in which, like, top 8 is a big fucking deal, right? So, take me loosely here, man. I am a bit... I guess, on the one hand, I'm a little surprised to see Joker in B tier. Just because the AI is so rigid. You know, there's certain things that Joker's always going to do. It doesn't... I've seen some pretty damn good Jokers in my life. None of them were B tier. Just none of them at all. Sorry, that's life. Same thing for Mega Man. I'm gonna flaunt my Amiibo doctoriness here. No. So, I'm just here, right? As the head honcho, as the CEO of Mega Man Amiibo, okay, and I am the CEO. You know I'm the CEO because I'm making this arm motion. This is what all CEOs must do when they first get their titles, is this. That's why Elon Musk has the title of Techno King. Legally, I'm not kidding you, he has the title of Techno King. He doesn't have a CEO title. Because he wasn't able to make this arm motion. So instead, he changed the title. As a CEO of Mega Man, Mega Man is not fucking B tier. What are you guys... No. Okay, here's... Nobody ever knows how to place Mega Man in a tier list, alright? I'm gonna drop some Doc bombs on, some Doc truth bombs, okay? Mega Man is kinda sorta anti-meta. A little bit. Just a wee bit, okay? Just a pinch. The reason being is that he is one of the very, very few point-blank killers in the meta, okay? You might think, Doc, how is getting right up close to your opponent a good thing? I don't know. Doesn't really make sense. But it's effective as hell. It's really effective as hell. Heavyweights in general do not have the moveset to attack that. They just don't. They're slower. So if you're already at point-blank range and you're faster than your opponent, it doesn't matter how strong they are. You're faster. You win. Right? That's where Mega Man's up tilt and up smash come into play. Down smash, a little bit too slow. Sorry, I don't know why. I've just been out of breath this whole recording session. However, it's easy to see that he does really well against some heavies, especially K-Rool for some reason. By the way, that's another reason that K-Rool should be... and to be like, oh, well, he must be B tier. No. Because he also gets murdered by sword fighters. Completely curb stomped. You can't see it, but I'm stomping. Like I'm kicking out his teeth. Don't look up curb stomping, kids. I shouldn't say that sort of thing in a video. So he's basically in a tier with a bunch of counters. Which is like, that's not how that's supposed to work. Maybe it is. I don't know. Either way, no, he's a point-blank killer. Swordies do really well against point-blanks. Heavies do not. A little bit anti-meta. But he does not belong in B tier for that reason. Does that make sense? No? Well, you're going to have to work on that. Palutena C-Plus. Oh, this is embarrassing. I might as well say this again since I said it in the tournament, but I'll say it again. So I did that. This is embarrassing. I did that Moonwalk video about how Hector's Palutena won a C-Plus tournament because it was Moonwalk method. It's like, no, actually, a lot of people are placing Palutena in B and B+, which, I don't know, it could be a trend. I've never had a strong opinion on the Palutena amiibo, which is why I didn't think twice about it. I was like, yeah, whatever. But Palutena winning that C-Plus tournament and Hector getting results with it, yeah, you know, B. We'll say B, you know. Ryu in C+. Okay. Dog's gonna hit you with some facts. Ryu got an AI buff. It is a buff. Some people say it's not a buff. That's because they're wimpy. I'm buff. I know an AI buff when I see one. Ryu got an AI buff. It's kind of funny. So what the AI buff largely was, is it basically gave Ryu a lot of follow-ups into combos that he didn't have before. The combos were there, but the AI couldn't do them. Now the AI can do them, okay? I don't know exactly where to place Ryu, but I know to place him higher than this. I would say maybe B. Probably not B+, because the AI is a lot more rigid now. And broadly speaking, generally speaking, more rigid AI doesn't do so well, okay? But his AI is rigid in a way that kind of helps him. I think Ryu's going to take... He's going to take a lot of love. He's going to need a hug. I'm not going to hug you. That'd be weird. I just theory crafting out here, though. The thing about Ryu, the best Ryu... This doesn't apply to Ken, only Ryu. The best Ryus use a lot of Hadouken. In my opinion, red Hadouken is better, but you know, we'll see about that. But red Hadouken or blue Hadouken don't kill, right? Ryu has always had a hard time killing. Well, now he can kill. Now he has the combos for it. In air and on the ground. So, you know, bump that sucker up a little bit. The Belmonts, that's an easy one. The Belmonts should always be higher than C+. You guys just don't know, man. No, in all seriousness though, the Belmonts are crazy. They're super nuts. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go watch the first tournament video from Amiibo Patience that I posted the other day. It's like, there's a Dave K has a crazy Belmont that is legitimately psychotic and insane, and I love it. I love it. It's wonderful. No, just the Belmont. Dude, I gotta get some water. My throat's about to crap out on me. Belmont's way higher. I would say, specifically because of the fact that the Belmonts outrange sword fighters, and they can outspace, not all, but many heavies, I would put them in B. Maybe even mid to top B, I don't know. It's kind of hard to say because that's a relative term, and you know. All right, I'm gonna get some water. Okay. C tier. I don't really have any opinions on C. I just don't care. I'm like, all right, whatever. Who cares? A little surprised to see Diddy Kong that high, though. I don't know. Diddy Kong has potential. He does have potential. Musket Method Diddy, great foundation for the character. Okay. I don't know if he has that much potential. He has some potential. I don't know about that much potential. His moveset is short range. Doesn't really kill very well unless you do some fancy human crap. Amiibo do not do fancy human crap. So, how many weird noises can I make in one video? Moving on. D+ tier looks about right. Little sad at Game & Watch's placement. I think he deserves better. Not surprised by it, though. Oh, by the way, one question I get a lot. Not a lot. Frequently. Occasionally. Periodically. Is why, if you say heavyweights are always good, why is Rob so low? He's D+. Why is Rob so... First of all, I don't say that heavyweights are always good. I say that they're always good, except for Rob. Rob's the exception. No, Rob is an example of the importance of great AI. By which I mean, Rob has shit AI. It's the worst freaking AI you can think of. No, I would say probably the worst AI in the game would actually be Jigglypuff. Anyway, sorry. So, with Rob, he will spam down tilt to no end. Just completely. Just permanently. It never ends. I'm exaggerating. I think he does it 5 times and then he quits. But that sounds like a dream, but he doesn't do anything out of it. He just... And then just kind of smokes, smokes a cigarette and sort of hangs out. Either. It's been a long time. Sorry. I know I'm living off of a sugar high right now because I really need to sleep. Whatever I just said about Rob, he's just bad. He's just bad. Okay, he doesn't use gyro well at all. He doesn't do the good stuff that he should do. There's just not much that Rob can do. Jigglypuff. Yeah, I'd say Jigglypuff deserves bottom of D+. I feel kind of sad. So I did a Moonwalk Method Jigglypuff just for the lulz. And it did kind of well against some of the C and C+ tiers. Pretty well beat the hell out of that one Mewtwo. In the analysis video, or was it the other one? It was the other Mewtwo. It doesn't matter. But it did okay, but maybe top of D+, not bottom of D+. But Moonwalk Method is not for a character like Jigglypuff. People know this. Jigglypuff has an AI issue where she will jump a lot. Just because. And she'll do it directly over the ledge, because that's part of her recovery routine, is just if my fist is the ledge, she'll get to the ledge and then just kind of, and then recover. And that just leaves her so ridiculously open. Also, she's third lightest in the game? Or something like that? She's literally a balloon. So she's supposed to die, So, Jigglypuff is already an awful character, and the Amiibo's not. Last, probably least, Bayonetta. I do not think Bayonetta is the worst in the game. I used to think that. Used to be fair. Now I think it's Jigglypuff. I think it's Jigglypuff. Gee, Doc, why do you think that? Good question. Artificial voice that isn't me. If you've seen my Moonwalk Method Bayo, I'm not trying to be optimistic about Moonwalk Method, okay? Because when it comes to something like Amiibo, there's 8,000 people at any given point who are like, man, your tier list is wrong. My Falco can beat my Bowser any day of the week. And I'm like, dude, your Bowser sounds like it sucks. You know what I'm saying? And also they've put Spirit. They've put Armonite and Trade-Off on their Falco and Ray Gun equipped on their Bowser or something like that. And I'm just like, dude, this isn't even Spirits. This is vanilla. Relax about it. But no, there's a lot of people who claim to have some major breakthrough with Amiibo, and they don't, right? And I don't want to be one of those people, but if I also don't tell anyone, that's a problem. So I'm just kind of Moonwalk. But my Moonwalk Method Bayonetta seems to be kicking ass. I haven't been able to test her for probably about 2 weeks, because spring break and school and my next 3 to 5 weeks are going to be an absolute barrage of finding internships, prepping for finals, and taking finals. So, I don't know, I'm going to be able to test that one for a while. But no, I think Bayonetta has enough good matchups against higher tiers that, no. One that I've noticed in particular, and this could just be that I have a relatively limited selection of Kazuyas to try against, but she seems to actually do pretty well against Kazuya, which is... who'da thunk, That could just be because of Kazuya, or because of how they were trained. But her forward smash is really big. Really, it's like if a heavyweight had a sword, right? But it's a sword. It's not a heavyweight punch, so it's not as powerful as a heavyweight, right? Also, not a lot of knockback scaling on that, which is really disappointing. But no, I think Moonwalk Method is useful for Bayonetta. I think it leads to new opportunities for the character. So, yeah, those are my thoughts on the Amiibo tier list, fellas. So leave a like and subscribe if you watch this all the way through to the end. And thank you for Please, thank you for being patient, because believe me when I say, I do not know if I'm going to have videos up these next couple of weeks. So, this could be the last time for a while. Doc out.